sensational, sensational, sensational.
세상을 깜짝 놀라게 하는 아주 멋진.
The possibilities for a good story are ill-used in their coverage of criminals who perpetrate sensational crimes. Startling, astonishing, staggering. Tout, tout, tout.
격찬하다, 강권하다.
Diversity is often touted as highly desirable. Transitory, transitory, transitory.
일시적인.
When patients are not depressed, their wish to die is still a transitory one. Transient, short-lived, ephemeral, fugitive. Variance, variance, variance.
편차, 변화.
The results of scientific investigations for treatment are not currently reliable. They include strong variance in the populations studied, especially in children. Veiled, veiled, veiled.
베일에 쌓인, 모호한.
The women were veiled so that the beautiful ones would not be carried off with the goats. Wax, wax, wax.
차츰 오르다, 차오르다.
In the past, the world has been stunned not only by the waning but also the waxing of the price. Yearn, yearn, yearn.
열망하다, 갈망하다.
An increasing number of young men yearn for the steroid-boosted and buff bodies of today's actors and weightlifters. Sham, sham, sham.
가짜에, 위조에.
The term placebo refers to a dummy pill passed off as a genuine pharmaceutical or, more broadly, any sham treatment presented as a real one. Counterfeit, phony. Aberrant, aberrant, aberrant.
비정상적인, 일탈적인.
Conversely, the most valued traits of our normal individuals have been looked on in differently organized cultures as aberrant. Abnormal, anomalous, deviant. Destitution, destitution, destitution.
빈곤, 궁핍, 극빈.
The wealth of some may imply the destitution of others. Come to grips with, come to grips with, come to grips with.
대처하다, 타협하다.
That will require women to come to grips with the full range of risks associated with being proactive. Dividend, dividend, dividend.
배당금.
Our societies are not fully benefiting from the youth dividend. Clandestine, clandestine, clandestine.
비밀의, 은밀한.
Among clandestine organizations, only the communists had practical knowledge of politics. Covert, furtive, surreptitious, underhand. Agitate, agitate, agitate.
운동하다, 선동하다.
50 years ago, student radicals agitated for academic freedom and the right to engage in political activities on campus. Blank slate, blank slate, blank slate.
후천.
In the blank slate, Steven Pinker explores the idea of human nature and its moral, emotional, and political colorings. Diffusion, diffusion, diffusion.
확산, 발산, 유포.
Textiles, furnishings, and items of apparel formed a key part of this unprecedented diffusion of objects and increased interaction with overseas worlds. Egregious, egregious, egregious.
끔찍한, 지독한.
The main effect of the one-child policy was to foster egregious human rights abuses against the minority who ignored it. Abstraction, abstraction, abstraction.
관념, 추상.
For Raymond Williams, privacy is simply an abstraction meant to conceal and justify private property. Disparage, disparage, disparage.
폄하하다, 비방하다.
For most people, doing the wrong thing is joining in when a person is being disparaged or laughing at a racist joke. Belittle, decry, denigrate, derogate. Diameter, diameter, diameter.
직경, 지름.
Shipborne sprayers would reliably churn out particles a 10,000th of millimeter in diameter at a rate of 1,000 trillion a second. Authoritarian, authoritarian, authoritarian.
권위주의적인.
So even for authoritarian China, raising the fertility rate will not be simple. Enigma, enigma, enigma.
수수께끼, 난제.
This new research about TRPM-8 brings scientists closer to understanding enigmas of hibernation. Puzzle, riddle, conundrum. accentuate, accentuate, accentuate.
강조하다.
The whole development of contemporary education accentuates the distance that separates, for a man, his life as a child and his life as an adult. Emphasize, underline, underscore. Blister, blister, blister.
물집, 물집 잡히다.
Our prints might allow our skin to stretch more easily, which can protect it from damage and help prevent blisters. Dispose of, dispose of, dispose of.
처리하다.
It is eco-friendly to dispose of a banana leaf, whereas plastic plates worsen the environment. Drab, drab, drab.
단조로운, 생기 없는.
Their drab looks serve as helpful camouflage from would-be predators. Colorless, dingy. Upbraid, upbraid, upbraid.
비난하다. 꾸짖다.
In 2009, he upbraided the government of Argentina's then-president Nestor Kirchner for failing to stem the spread of poverty. Chide, rebuke, reprimand. Havoc, havoc, havoc.
참담한 결과. 대재앙.
The price drop has inflicted the havoc most notably on Russia. Destruction, devastation. Proximate, proximate, proximate.
직접적인. 가장 가까운.
It was the proximate cause of cholera. Dilate, dilate, dilate.
확장되다. 키우다.
It takes seconds for blood vessels to dilate. Figurative, figurative, figurative.
비유적인.
The objective space of a house is far less important than what poetically it is endowed with, which is usually a quality with an imaginative or figurative value we can name and feel. Allegorical, metaphorical, symbolic. Fall behind, fall behind, fall behind.
뒤떨어지다. 뒤처지다.
Even when some effective measures are found to fall behind their scope, people generally do not stop using them. Immaculate, immaculate, immaculate.
완전한. 완벽한.
Hobbies corroborated Descartes' ideas by translating his notion of the immaculate soul into material terms. Flawless, impeccable, faultless. Legislature, legislature, legislature.
입법부.
Although the sight of brawling politicians is incongruous with a legislature's stately image, they are prone to stress and anger. Eulogy, eulogy, eulogy.
찬미. 찬양연설.
Eulogy to the propagation of creationism. Persecution, persecution, persecution.
박해.
The killing of witches, the torture of prisoners, the persecution of heretics, the execution of nonconformists, all carried out with stomach-turning cruelty. Nuptial, nuptial, nuptial.
결혼해.
Drakes suit up once more in nuptial plumage and go looking for love. Conjugal, marital, matrimonial. Eradicate, eradicate, eradicate.
근절하다. 박멸하다.
This advance enabled the World Health Organization to announce in 1979 that smallpox had been eradicated. Eliminate, exterminate, uproot. Substitute for, substitute for, substitute for.
대체하다. 교체하다.
For women, child care did not substitute for any of their existing work. Prerogative, prerogative, prerogative.
특권. 특혜.
It is the prerogative of the people donating to decide what they choose to do with their funding. Perquisite, privilege,